This is another hit from Die Hard. Live forever. Things in this production. More original. 48. 09. See, we don't understand. All you stand around and do nothing. You are everything. You have to get to work. Possess the city. Work. Work. So you are everything. You know everything. You do everything. Build. Great. When those days on, put that work in every day. Every day. No excuses, gotta keep on doing what I'm doing. Execution, action, movement, execution, engineer from here to there.
Since we get it here, the gear we with the things we know. Something kick and grow from eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Alright, y'all. Welcome back to Fingers to Fish Productions, right? So today, you know what I mean? Yo, brother, I have a teacher, right? So I say, you know what I'm saying? Well, matter of fact, let me can you introduce yourself to these people? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to give away. I don't want to give away what it is, brother. So can you tell them, give the people your name.
Oh, my name is Dale Stephans. Right now, I'm a safety professional. I specialize in safety when it comes to like construction. So I'm a CSP, which stands for Certified Safety Professional. I have my OSHA 30, shooting for my OSHA 510 next month, and then I'm gonna go for my OSHA 500. So the OSHA 500 basically means I'll be a certified trainer. It gives me the opportunity to go out there and teach OSHA courses in either in the construction or the general industry. So that's what I kind of basically specialize in. Been doing it for a couple of years now. First off, I started off with Cintas, so now I'm with a company called J.E. Richards. So, right now, just proud to be part of that safety community and try to make a difference out there, especially in the construction or the general industry world.
Okay, so bro, and then, I'm glad for all the information, but you know what I'm saying. But now I gotta break it down. Some people may not even know what OSHA means. You know what I'm saying, or what it like. You know what I'm saying, what it like entails. So, bro, can you break it down? Like, what does OSHA mean?
So basically, OSHA means Occupational Safety Health Administration. Okay. So when it comes to OSHA, more of the construction sides, you have a bunch of topics, something like fall protection, confined space, how to use power tools. And when it comes to OSHA, they give you the minimal requirements as far as what is needed and to meet those requirements to make sure you're not violating any safety violations. Okay. Like, for example, when it comes to fall protection, a lot of people that may not know what that is, but when it comes to doing construction work, you got to wear a harness, you got to wear a lanyard, you got to be a competent person that actually does an inspection of this particular equipment to make sure it's safe for use, and you're also using it for safety and best practices.
Right. All right. So, brother, how would somebody, saying like get into your field, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, is OSHA just construction, or is it more like construction and I say industrial aspect, right? So are you?
Yeah, no. So OSHA falls in the categories: construction, industrial use. You also have your general industry. It could be like an office setting. So OSHA, you can do anything as far as when it comes to OSHA. For example, you could be you could do, if you want to get into the business of, let's say fire extinguishers, right? According to OSHA, there's certain fire extinguishers, right? You got your different types out there, and based on those types, you got to have those fire extinguishers in a certain feet or a certain distance compared to anything that is flammable or explosive and so forth. Then you also have You have eye wash stations. So depending if somebody's working around something that could be very harmful to the pupil, the eyes, you got to have an eye wash station a certain amount of distance. It has to be very noticeable. You got to have a clear pathway and so forth. So OSHA basically goes into many categories, many industries. The most important thing is getting your education and knowledge about when it comes to OSHA, and and just basically teaching yourself. So there's different ways you can actually go. So some people go the school route, right? So some people will go to like a university. They'll specialize in safety, or they'll try to get their degree in safety. Okay, or you say, you know what, I might not want to go to a fourth year college. Maybe I want to go to a certification or an institution that offers certifications such as your CSP, your safety professional. You also have your ASP, your associate safety professional, and some other certifications out there, depending on what type of path that you want to go that involves with safety.
Okay, all right, so brother, so what would you recommend to those or youth or the youths, right? You know what I'm saying, or those seeking to explore this field, right? Which one would you,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Which one would you like recommend them to do, the school or the certification? And what you know, I understand the school aspect, right?
Hmm.
Uh, and that's 4 years, right? So
Yeah.
with the certification, I mean, you know, like how did they get in the certification? Because basically, like you know, like is there a certificate? You know, what kind of programs, institutions down here provide those services for that certification?
I mean, you got plenty of institutions out there that offer that certification. I mean, if you want to go the college route, like I mean, any college university will provide the courses that you need. Now, to answer your question, would I actually pick a university or a basically a company that offers certification? Me personally, I will pick an institute that offers a certification. Now, the reason why is because when you go to a 4 year college, usually your first 2 years you only take in your elective courses, what they call like your general studies.
Right, right,
And then your last 2 years where you actually will take classes that's made for your major, or if you're going for your doctor's degree and so forth. The certifications go straight to the point, right? It's going to tell you basically all the necessary information that you need in order for you to advance your safety career. But also too, let's say for example, if you may say, okay, I don't want to maybe go to get the certification route. There's actually websites out there like 360 Training that offer you training to be a competent person in fall protection or a competent person in confined space. You could also get your OSHA 30, and you could do that on your own. That right there will be a start, and then you can actually migrate off to try to get your CSP, your ASAP, and so forth. So I encourage young youth that's into training. I mean, not into training, but into safety. If they don't want to take they don't take the college route. If they don't want to take the certification route, at least try to get some of those small certifications, CPR, bloodborne pathogen. To a lot of people, right, they may seem like, oh, well, that's not really nothing, but it's something, right? And then when you have that underneath your belt, right, it actually shows your employer that you're willing to take that extra route to get that education that you need to advance your safety career.
right, right, right. So man, so so how would the youth, right?
Mhm.
So okay, no one. I got like so I think saying we went say we went too fast, right? But so I want to ask, brother, where are you from? You know,
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm from Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, but I grew up everywhere. I guess you could say I'm from Frederick, Maryland. My dad was in the military, but I've been living in the Frederick area for about over 20 years now. So, you know what they say, if you've been living somewhere about 20, 30 years, you're basically from there.
right, right, right.
So, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
So that saying all right. So how would a kid from Frederick, right?
Hmm.
Learn about these programs? Like because I guess it's a small town, right? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And basically in your field, man. So it's more like is it more like so I don't even want to hold my tongue on this, right? Is it more
Yeah.
saying more like is it people saying is it copper people or saying or more saying more like like white people. And I
No,
hate to say white people.
when it come to safety, right? You don't have to put a color. Right? When I look at it, there's no color on education. It's just a mindset.
Right, right,
So if I'm telling a young person, hey, they want to start their career in safety, right? First thing I'm gonna ask them, you want to do construction or you want to do general industry? Okay. Now, majority of the people, they want to do construction because there's more money there, there's more opportunities there, and there's more growth there as well. Now, when I ask a young gentleman that, I say, okay, well, do you want to be, a safety health officer? Okay, do you want to be a safety person that want to be on the construction site? You kind of got to tell me what career that you want to take so I can guide that individual or guide that young person, or young woman or young man to the educational resources that you need to set you on that straight path. Okay, so go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You about to say something?
Because
Mm-hmm.
you say stuff, right? And it's like like so like so how do these kids like? Do you go to schools? But where can they find you? You know what I'm saying? So basically, it's like okay, even for the kids to get to you, right? To know this knowledge, right? Because their parents might not
Mm-hmm.
know. You know what I'm saying? Like OSHA, right? You know what I'm saying? Like there's not a lot. And I say in a lot of communities they're not talking about OSHA, right? They're not
Mm-hmm.
talking about those courses. You know what I mean? So so
Yeah.
so how would like how would saying how would these kids connect to you? You know what I mean? Just for,
Mm-hmm.
like do you like do you have like a one day like like hey go to school and let's talk about this. You know what I mean?
So it means for us connected with me, a lot of the youth, what I do, I just have a conversation with them,
Okay.
right? So for what I mean by this, like for example, I might see somebody walking down the street, they may ask me, okay, what's your career? And I tell them safety, right? I tell them the opportunities into safety. Then, depending if they really want to sit down and have a conversation like we're doing right now, I'm gonna tell them the necessary steps they need. I'm gonna tell them some resources they can go out there and get. To be honest with you, you can actually go to type in, OSHA.gov and get that information, right? And when you go to OSHA.gov, right, they'll give you, a list of topics that you're gonna get your education on, right? And then depending on if that's something that you're interested in, then I will always continue that conversation. I will sit down with them. Sometimes I'll try to be a mentor to them as well, to making sure that again I'm guiding them in the right path to to start that safety career. But where you can find me? I tell people all the time, you can find me on Facebook, Dale Stevens. I don't be on social media like that. Instagram, I'm more like an in the person type of individual.
Right.
I'm free to give people my phone number, my email, and I'm willing to basically answer any questions or you provide you any information that you need to advance your safety career. Okay, because I think right now in today's world, man, we need more mentors. We definitely need more mentors, especially for the young man and not only young men but young women as well. But especially for young men, because again, a lot of the times we get stereotyped as young black men, right? Oh, they don't got no father, they grew up with a mother, this and that. And sometimes, right, you could be a father like to that individual without even being their father by just guiding them or providing them with information to advance their career. And I think we need more world. I think we need more communities. Which is incredible now to that are actually doing something just out there or have a career. I think that's very important, but that's what I want to be. I don't just want to be the person that just want to come up here and just talk about safety. I want to be safety, but I also want to mentor, encourage, and provide the information that people need, in order for them to, to grow in that field.
I see, bro. That's great, bro. So like, so bro, like, and this is one reason, like the major reason I wanted to, interview on this podcast, bro. Because my thing is like, like, like the superheroes, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's not always, like rappers or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's sometimes it's just us, right? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes
Hmm.
it's just us got to save us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so, bro. Like, so my thing is like, yo, to me, you're providing a great service, right? By giving
Hmm.
back, giving the knowledge back. Some people don't give the knowledge back, right? And I'm glad,
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, so with this, I'm hoping that, like, with our conversation, right? Like this here, right? This, that some kids will reach out, right, to you, right?
Hmm.
Like, I'm interested in that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that it even existed. You know what I mean? So,
Hmm.
I know a lot of, these kids, they just don't know better, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To
Mm-hmm.
do better. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So basically like so when you're talking like okay, now listen, we don't have to take the route of this. There's other opportunities. We just gotta look out the box. You know what I'm saying that we
Mm-hmm.
got, right? So I gotta ask you, bro, how long have you been doing OSHA? And when did you decide like this is what I want to do? What age was that?
So basically, how my career actually started. I mean, it started back from when I was working in retail.
Wow.
My very first job was retail, but I had a passion for helping people.
Mm,
I had a passion for communicating people,
nice.
and I had a passion for teaching people. So by me even having that passion, when I first went to school, to be honest with you, to tell everybody on here, when I first was going to school, I didn't even go to school for safety. I went to school graduated from Towson University, went to school for administration, concentration in management. I always wanted to manage a business or own my own business, but what I always told myself, how I teach people how to train is a reflect of my business, right? So I knew, like, if I was going to ever start a business, I got to make sure I provide my employees with valuable information so they can go out there and be successful.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
What I really got into safety is when I actually started, right?
I'm sorry, bro. You break it up a little bit.
Oh, sorry. I said, well, my job was I was called like a sales representative, and usually what I do.
Oh, you break it up again.
Yeah. I'm breaking up again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, there you go. You gotta get you. I got you. We back. We back.
All right, my fault, my fault.
Yeah, no, no.
So I guess for those, if for the just in case we lost service at. I used to call it. I was a sales representative for Centos,
Mm,
right? So what I used to do is I used to go to my customers. I used to service their first aid cabinets. But I realized a lot of my customers didn't have knowledge in certain requirements, certain procedures, certain things they needed in order for their the business or their environment to be, be more serious about safety. I would go into buildings, they won't have no AEDs available. So I would ask them a question, hey, what if somebody passes out? Okay. What do you have here to basically,
wait, bro. So I'm gonna
help
stop
them?
you, bro. What's eight?
Okay.
Like so, bro. You gotta speak to us like
Yeah, no, no. So with an AED is a defibrillator. So let's say, for example, the days of you doing like CPR, like mouth to mouth,
right.
right, it's kind of slow and going away. So a lot of these companies, like I'll name one, Zoll, all right, or Reviver, they create these AEDs. Also, another company's called Philips. They create these AEDs that actually walk you steps on how to perform CPR to relieve that person back to life.
Wow,
Okay.
wow, that's crazy. Yeah, you break it up again. Break it up again. You gotta move it over a little bit.
But yeah, I talked to them about there's certain locations I will go to. They'll have like some chemicals or some flammable chemicals that can be very deadly to the pupil. So somebody gets like some oil in their eyes. Okay, you don't have an eye wash station to flush your eyes. And according to OSHA, if you got anything that's that could be very hazardous, okay, you gotta have an eye wash station within like a certain feet of that actually has a chemical or a product. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that information. So when I come there to bring them that information, it's almost like a relief to them. They're like, man, all right, nobody never told us that before, right? We didn't know that, that was an OSHA requirement, right? There's people out there, right, that don't even look at their SDS. So SDS stands for a safety data sheet. It gives you a list of products that might be hazardous or a list of chemicals that might be hazardous to the human body or to the workplace, which is also called the worker's right to know. Meaning, let's say, for example, if you go into the restaurant, right, you have the right to know exactly what type of ingredients they put in their food, what type of oil they use. But a lot of people don't ask that question.
Mm,
But you have the right to ask.
right,
Okay,
right, right,
right?
right.
And also,
Wait, bro. You break it up a little bit, I definitely want to hear this again. But can you move the phone again? There you go. There you go.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah,
right, perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, so the more that I started going out to these warehouses and these industrial areas, in restaurants too, and I started talking to customers and provided them, or recommended them some eye wash stations or AEDs they need. The more that I saw I was helping.
Right.
And then what I used to do, man, leave my work, I used to go home. I'll go home and just pull up some information, do my own research to educate myself. So before I even got my OSHA 30, I took it upon myself. I took it upon myself to get my CPR certification, bloodborne pathogen certification, first aid safety certification, my OSHA 30 certification. Like I did that on my own because I knew it was something I had a passion for. Right. And now working with the company I'm with now, man, they gave me the opportunity to where, I do a 2-day training with these individuals. I actually go over OSHA topics. And then once I go over those topics, once they pass my training, they can go ahead and go to the site and start working. Right. So having that voice and having somebody that has a passion for safety like myself, I very educate people and I provide them with what they need. I want to make information.
Right.
So,
Bro, you froze up on me again. Yep.
and
Yeah. You hear me, right? No, you stuck.
I know my camera. Let me see. I got my Wi-Fi on, so we good.
I mean, maybe a dead zone, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it might be the area that I'm in.
Yeah, because now I hear you. You know what I mean?
All right.
You good, and then you disappear. Now you just stuck on the
No,
spot.
I gotta stay in a certain area to make sure. So I know my bars on my phone is lighting up pretty good. So okay, but you can hear me clear now.
Yeah, I can hear you clear. But
All right.
can't. You're not speaking. I can see your face.
No, you good, you good.
Okay, good. It's good.
So, but yeah, like I said before, I got a passion for safety, so I enjoy it. But, going back to how somebody wants to start into safety, like I said before, you can actually, you can do it on your own. Like I said, there's sites like clicksafety.com. You have another site that's called 360 Training, right? That you can actually go on there and look up some topics and provide yourself with your own training, like, your OSHA 10, your OSHA 30. You can be a competent person in confined space, right? And they do, they do basically training, and provide you with the information, not only construction, but also general industry too as well.
So, bro, like, so not to get in detail, but like, so what is the starting base salary, right, for somebody just starting that wants to get their OSHA license,
I mean, it really depends on the area that you're in. Now, when you look at as far as um, but starting base start at 6 star.
Oh wait, bro, you're breaking up again.
Man,
Well, you want me to call you right back?
yeah, call me right back. Let me go to a different area real quick. Yeah, give me a call back.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. All right.
How can you hear me now?
Yeah. Okay, perfectly.
Okay.
All right.
All right, perfect. So I think the question you asked me, like, what is the base salary? So, like I said, it really depends on the area. Now, I know here on the East Coast, around the Virginia, DMV area, they pay a little bit more compared if you somewhere like down south. And the reason why is because, it's just the cost of living.
Right, right,
The cost of living in Virginia is a little bit more expensive than you living somewhere down south.
right, right.
Okay. Can you hear me clear?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, usually your base salary, right? Yeah, usually your base salary, right? Depending on the company you work for, right? Depending on your experience, it could be sometime between 50 to 70K.
Oh, that's great for this, But that's a to me, that's a good step for these kids, to step into. You know what I mean? So you can hear me?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I thought you
yeah, I can hear you.
heard me. Yeah. So man, that's that's a great field for these kids to get into, man. Like so what was I gonna ask? So you've been with that company for how long? You been with this new company? Well, before that, I forgot that. But so you said OSHA 30 and OSHA, OSHA 3, 30 and OSHA 50, right? What is the difference? What's the difference between that?
Between the 510 and the five? You was breaking up. Did you ask what was the difference between the 510 and the 500? Is that what you asked? Or
Yeah. You said
oh, you asked the difference between?
you said you're going for the OSHA 30, and you said you're ready to go to OSHA 50.
No, so I got my OSHA 30 now. So what I'm shooting for is for my OSHA 510.
Yeah, that's something.
So the reason why I'm shooting, yeah. So the reason why I'm shooting for the OSHA 510 because in order to get your OSHA 500 was like you are basically a certified trainer. So I'm gonna explain the OSHA 500. So when I get the OSHA 500, that basically means I could be my own independent contractor. That means I could go to other companies and I can actually teach the actual OSHA courses. Okay. Once you get your 500, you get an ID number that basically solidify you as a official OSHA trainer. But in order for you to do that, you got to have some requirements. Now, one of the requirements they want you to have, your bachelor's or your master's in the safety, okay? Or you could be a CSP certified, which means certified safety professional, okay? Or you can have your OSHA 510. Now, your OSHA 510 is almost kind of similar to the OSHA 500. The 500 is more in details, more in depth, okay? It's going to break down, on a lot of the topics that you're going to go over in more details. So that's just like your prerequisites, that you need in order for to get you get your 500. So that basically means like once I get my 500, what it means I'm a certified, OSHA trainer. Dude, I could go get a job at some of these companies like, I'm just naming some companies out of there, Google or Amazon or other construction sites that's looking to hire a legit safety person on their site. And when you have a legit safety person, an OSHA person to have their 500, that person is well aware of all the topics, all the minimal requirements that you need to make sure you're doing everything safe.
Right. It's crazy because as you talk, man, I'm thinking like I used to work in hospital, so the OSHA used to come also. You know what I mean? And they,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So that like it's not just in construction or in a in the warehouse.
Yeah.
It's different places, which is
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So basically, like it's a variety of places that this could be taken. This field of work.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. So is it in a big demand?
Is it a big demand? Absolutely. Absolutely. Here's the thing, man. When it comes to safety, man, safety is the same as like, being an electrician, okay? Or, being a plumber, right? It's a need. Okay, you need electricity for the power. You need a plumber right now, just in case your water go out. If you on a construction site, you want to make sure safety's around and make sure everybody have the safe practices. Okay, it's definitely a need. What it is we have so many workers, right? The quantity of workers basically is basically outseeding the number of safety individuals. Okay, and I'm a firm believer that you do need more safety professionals on these job sites, right? Because you would have some sites out there sometimes they get complacent, right? You got some people that don't take safety seriously. For the company I work for, we hire a lot through the union. But we got a lot of people that come from non-union. And non-union, they'll tell you, man, they don't care. You don't got no benefits. You doing all types of things. Like they don't care about no OSHA. They care about making their money,
Right, right.
and that's a concern. That's a concern for me because you putting people's lives at stake.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, yeah.
I always tell people, man, the same way you came to work injury free, stress free, is the same way we want you to go home.
Right, right. Yeah,
You know,
right, right. That's good business.
same way we go home.
Yes.
So we need more safety professionals out there. It's a high demand and it's a need too as well. So we definitely need more safety individuals out
Yeah,
there.
well, you know what, look, man. So I'm hoping people that get a chance to listen to this, you know what I mean? Like they understand this. You know what I'm saying? Like we need more, right? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, right. But I mean, look, man, y'all don't have a commercial. You know what I'm saying? Like so no one, right, bro. So no one's saying like, yo, we need more of this, right? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so so all right, okay, bro. Uh, so you got me thinking. I'm like, man, like, is there any program, right? Through the school system where basically like, because bro, I went to school and they didn't have this, right? But I'm like, man, why can't say like in junior high school, say a guy like you walk in and you be like, listen, this is what I do for a living.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and just talk to them like a good hour, right? You know what I'm saying? To me, it's one of these great programs. It's like it's like you don't have to be a astronaut, a doctor. You know what I'm saying? There's other things like this, which is how I get
Yeah.
in. You know what I'm saying? But but
Hmm.
but people, saying even teachers, they're not talking about this, right? They're talking about like you could be a teacher like me, right? But
Hmm.
they're not saying like, hey, what do you do, OSHA? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And make us safe,
Yeah.
make us teachers in this facility safe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So bro, so I really believe like all right. So me and you talking right now, but I'm like, man, look, man, these kids in the schools are here. You know what I'm saying? And I say, not just Frederick. I'm like, a lot of schools, these kids should hear this. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So well, like, do they have a program out here like that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Where basically like the kids, interact with you like, I'm talking about like more of an educational set. So, and I understand, well, I understand like the the saying like sort of streets, and I understand it on the humble, but sometimes the focus is not there for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so so in another setting is like now we're here to talk about like making you better, right? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, before you get worse. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So here's another option to like just think about that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No, I'm kind of glad that you brung up when you talk about schools because one thing that a lot of school programs that I think they need to do more of is do safety training, right? And this is part of safety. Do safety training, not so more OSHA, but what about workplace violence and an active shooter?
Mm,
I mean, we at the times right now, man. I mean, you heard stories. Me and you heard stories before, man. You got people out there shooting up elementary schools. You got people out there shooting up high schools. So it's like, are the schools have a program to where they can fund to educate these students, to educate these young people if an active shooter on site what to do?
yeah. See.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, right, they don't have that, right? A lot of these shootings that has happened at school can be well prevented, right? If the teachers, right, if the school, if the children just kind of speak up. But some of them don't know how to, and it's not their fault. It's just they don't know how to. They never been trained. There's no program in place to kind of talk about that. I think that side of things when it comes to safety should definitely be taught more than schools and have a program in place, right? I remember, man. You probably remember school, man. They used to have it to where you could work on cars, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
a lot of school, and there's some schools out there that cut that program out, and it's all because of funding, right? And it's like, no, man, this is the opportunity for these kids if they don't want to go to college, they should still go out there and make a career,
Yeah.
right? Or hey, you might have somebody, you might have a guest speaker. Okay, a person that's in the real estate, a person that's in the safety, somebody like you can go to the school and just talk to these individuals. It gives them hope for their future, right? Because a lot of the times, be honest with you, man, a lot of the teachers that what they're teaching the students is based on what the high school or the college or that elementary school basically is teaching them,
Right.
right?
Right.
It's whatever the county curriculum is basically offering its teachers to teach them,
right,
right? And then some of the stuff that they're teaching them right now is different from when we grow up, and is not setting them up for success and build a career. And that's the thing that we run into the school system. So us as parents, or you yourself as a mentor, right? We gotta be that teacher,
right,
right? Sometimes we had to guide them in the right direction. And sometimes we need the community to speak up, like, get a petition and say, hey, man, we need to start teaching more of workplace violence and the active shooter if something goes on,
right,
right?
right,
You know what I mean? Have more teachers outside of the school. If you see kids walking across the street, right? How about you walk the student to their parents? Don't let the student just walk by themselves, right? Or you know what? You can have a community rescue team. Like there's been times when I would see kids walking from Ballard Elementary School, and I'm like, yo, it's 3 or 4 kids walking by themselves.
mm,
But maybe if they had somebody that was a couple of feet away on every block or every corner, making sure these kids get safe, to their house, and make the environment a little bit more safer, right? But you got some people out there that just don't think like that, and we need more people like that out there.
but you see, but okay, so man, like right now, bro, to me, like I'm like, you created a job.
Yeah,
Not what you just said, right? I'm like, yeah, that that would be good. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, just look, just stand in the corner, make sure they're safe. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's your job. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's more than just walking them across the street. No,
yeah.
make sure they get right where they need to go. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And
So
that's very important too, man, because nowadays, you got a lot of kids, man, they're getting captured, they missing, they getting kidnapped. So it's like you need those extra set of eyes on these individuals while they're walking home to make sure they get home safe. Because we all know as parents, man, the last thing we want to hear is, if our kid is missing, because we always think the worst,
right, right,
right?
right,
Right. But if you go put a community together, you just get a couple of people say, hey, you know what? We're going to be called the safety watch team, not only for the neighborhood, but also for the kids that's walking from and to school.
you see, but and so 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 this is my primary point of saying interviewing you, right? Because I'm like, yo, bro, like what you're doing, saying you work in safety, right?
Hmm.
But at the same time, bro, like you educating these people, the kids to, like, well, matter of fact, not the kids, but the community. Hey, listen, we can do more. You know what I'm saying? We do have the opportunities. You know what I'm saying? And it's people that look like me, right? You know what I'm saying? Or whether they don't, you know what I'm saying? It's more like, hey, it's possible. Like it's not a like, hey, it's not a free fall. So, somebody's doing something, right? So basically,
Yeah,
yeah. So my thing, I'm like, yo, let's make the invisible man visible. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So to me, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, listen, I like to see our heroes, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
I know our heroes. They be like, nah, don't show me. It's like, nah, if they don't see you, man, you know what I'm saying? They don't believe you, right? You know what I'm saying? They don't believe
Yeah,
in
that's
you.
true.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's why
Yeah, no, that's true.
yeah, yeah. So well, and that's why I'm pushing, like, yo, bro, like for down here, people talk about certain people. I'm like, well, we don't see them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they kind of need to
Hmm.
be, like, let them be seen and let them be heard, right? Like,
Yeah,
not in a small group, but to the people. You know what I'm saying? And maybe the people will basically say, like, yo, we could do, I can do. If he did it, I could do that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, fact.
But it needs to be, this person did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so,
Hmm.
in an aspect, like I said, like, the whole thing of rescuing ourselves, the Haru, right? You know what I mean? So basically, I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
bro, like, thank you for coming on, saying the show, and you know what I'm saying, even telling these people, you know what I'm saying, and I hope it reaches the ears of kids, right? But you know what I'm saying, I'm glad, like, that you got to explain, right?
hmm,
And right, so I really want, what I'm saying, like, I really want you to tell them your email. You know what I mean? I mean, not to get personal. I know, what I'm saying,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, but so let them, if they want to reach you, what I'm saying, could I know you said your Facebook is Dale Stephans, right?
yeah. Dale Stephens, so Stephen, Dale Stevens, Dale Stephens, whatever. Yeah, that's my Facebook. If you want to email me, is dsteph, so that's DSTEPH 2333 at gmail.com. You can reach me there just in case anybody got any questions or any tips, just about safety and try to get into the career.
Okay, bro. Hey, brother, man. So, man, I'm in this interview, right? But what will be your advice for any person that want to get in your field, or bro, or just period? If what the advice for the people out there?
So the one advice that I always tell people, right, is the resources is out there. Go find the resources that you need. Get yourself a mentor, right? Get yourself a mentor that's in the career that you want to basically pursue, right? And when you get yourself a mentor, make sure you pay attention. You ask questions as much as possible, right? Always take notes, right? Always take notes. And here's just one advice that I always tell people, right? Always stay brand new. So what does that mean? You never want to get complacent on education, knowledge, mentorship. When people tell me they know everything, those are the people that I kind of want to stay away from. You know why? Because you're not leaving your brain open to learn more. Okay? And even though I'm in safety and I'm telling you these things, guess what? I will be lying if I tell you I know everything. To be honest with you, I don't want to know everything. I want to leave my brain open to learn. Okay? Because as a man, and if a lot of people don't know, I'm age 38. The older you get, the more mature you get. But also too, the more logical and educational that you get to as well. So always stay brand new. Always look for mentorship. Never give up. Do your research. The young generation, man, right? Sometimes they want to get on their phone and go to TikTok and do all this and that. You can actually go to TikTok and look up OSHA classes, hear information from OPA representative, OSHA gurus, safety gurus. So instead of you trying to, sit up there, twiddle your fingers on the phone, how about you use your fingers to build your career? That's the way I look at it, man.
Bro. Hey, man, bro, that's great. Saying great, powerful words, bro. Saying I'm glad, that's excellent, bro. So once again, man, you know what I mean. Hey, I'm glad, saying you was on it, on here, and I'm glad, for the information you gave out, to the public, right, bro. And bro, matter of fact, man, I'm hoping to, get you back on here again, man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anytime. Anytime, man. Anytime.
Yeah, man, bro, it was great, man, and bro, like, so bro, you gave me a whole lot of knowledge, right? So I'm hoping that what I'm saying, like, whoever gets to hear this, man, what I'm saying, it will receive the same. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
All right, brother. Yo, hey, man, it's good speaking to you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you, bro.
Man, hey, I appreciate you having me, brother. To be honest with you, I'm excited to be on this broadcast with you, man, because I know right now I can see the passion. Okay, I can see the commitment that you actually want to help the youth, right? Not just only youth, you want to help anybody, and just going out there and having conversation like this, right? You never know what can make a difference in somebody's life,
Right.
right? So, man, like I said, if there's anything I could do to help you, man, you let me know, man. I'm all here, man. Let's stick together. Let's go out there, change the world, one man at a time. But even those one man at a time, look, let's put our minds and let's put our fingers together, man. Go get it done.
Right, brother. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So what I was saying was, like a lot of people, they want to point the finger at the system. Government is doing this. The government is doing that. Right. What a lot of people don't gotta understand is there the resource out there to where you could bypass the system. You could override the system, right? But you so focused on pointing at the finger at everybody else that you're not pointing the finger at yourself,
Right.
right? It goes back to, okay, you might be in a low income community, right? You might be around people that has a lot of violence and everything. Okay. Well, the society right now that you're looking at, the system look at is like, okay, you're not gonna be nothing. Right. And if you continue to let them to say that, then guess what? And you allow them to get into your mind, that's just what you're gonna be,
Right.
right?
Right.
Unless you say, you know what, man, I want to make it out of this system. Let me go do something with myself. Let me get into safety. Let me do a broadcast like this. There's people out there, man, they don't even know. They got a side hustle. You could turn that side hustle into a business, right?
Yeah. Bro. So
And
that,
and 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 a lot of people don't know that,
but see,
right?
see that, but that oh, so but like I said, so that gets me mad, right? Where people like, oh, I'm broke. I'm like, nah, you only broke because you want to be broke, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Hmm.
if you want it, right? You could make, there was I think Napoleon Richards, Napoleon Hill, right? So he was like I
Think
forget.
or grow rich.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
so and I just get that to my son. So, but there was a question that somebody was like, if somebody that kidnapped your your moms or your father, right? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And they ransom them like, yo, listen, if you don't get this much money, if you don't get a million, right? Let's say, all right, say 5,000, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying 5,000. If you don't get $5,000 by like the end of the week, right? We're gonna kill him, right?
Hmm.
So you would do everything in the world, you know what I'm saying, to obtain that money, right?
Yeah.
But it's like they was like, man, but you wouldn't do that for yourself. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So
Hmm.
yeah, so it's like yeah, yo look, you could have did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could do it for yourself, right? Because emergency is you. Save your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
that's what we're here for. Listen, save you, right? Just like you would save somebody else. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
so that that's my take on it. It's like, well, people forget, like, you don't always have to beg and be like, "Woe is me." There's a will, is a way, right? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I looked at something, saying to me is like the like the OGs, right? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about like 1980s. I'm talking about like the people in these different towns, like Wilmington and all these other places, right? These people had their
Hmm.
own towns, their own functioning stuff, right? You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
living good, they dressing good. You like, wow, right? And all this supposed to destruction is Wild West. These people are maintaining, right? With enemies, right? So it's like so wait a minute, they did more with less, and because it wasn't a welfare at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. True. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's basically like,
That's true.
yeah, like yeah, like we had to build, like, so I wasn't there, but it's like they had to build their own hospitals. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So basically, it's like to me, it's like I heard too, this guy say, he said, we talk about them, they don't talk about us, right? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, so these people was like amazing. So I'm like, yo, these people was amazing. Yo, how come we lack on that, right, for
Hmm.
ourselves? You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
it don't that don't like, they keep on coming up with excuses, but I'm like, they did it, and
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I said to, what I'm saying, I kind of, that's why I got you, on this podcast also. Like, I'm like, yo, we do it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah. So, but I want to show them, like, look, man, don't believe Oz case. Like, they're not, they're afraid, uneducated. You know what I'm saying? And their will is weak, right? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you keep on, following these people, like, yo, they're gonna lead you to destruction. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
yeah, yo, follow somebody that's on the right track. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you can take your lead, right? But my thing is, like, I'm like, so to me, I'm like, yo, I gotta show this, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, so even when I'm doing a podcast, everybody's like, oh, we gotta get, stars and all that, right? But I'm like, yo, bro, these stars don't do nothing for our neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, like, yeah, it's cool, right? You know what I'm saying? But they don't even like us. You know what I mean? Like I never
Yeah.
saw them around my block. They don't care about none of these kids. They may do before, back in the days when, saying this, struggling. They was like, hey, yo, I'm coming around for the kids, right? Now they like, man, I ain't, what I'm saying? Cause my thing, I'm like, yo, look, like, like all these rappers making all this money, right? But I'm like, yo, how's your community getting better? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. It's almost like too. If you look at when we go back to rappers or entertainers, man, it's almost like a brainwash to them.
Uh,
I give you a perfect example, man. You got these rappers, they're wearing the Louis, the Gucci, they doing all this, but what are those brands doing anything to your community? In fact, they're brainwashing you to go there and go sell this product into the low income neighborhoods. They basically telling you, hey man, if you listen to the Futures, if you listen to all these other rappers that's wearing the Gucci, hey, go buy the Gucci belt or go buy the Gucci shirt before you pay your light bill.
it,
How about you go buy yourself a pair of 1,500 jeans $1,500 jeans instead of taking that money and put in a high yield savings account that's going to get you some compound interest for you to grow your money. Or take that 1,500. You around getting on the bus. How about you take that 1,500, put it in an account so you can save up for transportation?
Okay.
You know.
So, bro, this. Okay, so this is so, and and things. I kind of wrote a book about this, like what I'm saying. But it's more about. So it wasn't telling people about financial, like because you can't really tell people about financial, right? You can't tell them like, hey, be responsible for yourself, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's like, but understand, right? What you're putting your energy, your time, right, is not worth it, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like just take a second and think, like, what value is that? You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
they are, that's what I want. Oh, okay, that's what you want, right? But you have to learn to live with your decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you don't have food, right, don't come to me like I'm hungry. Hey, you spend your money, you spend your resources on the wrong thing, right? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, but so to me, it's like it's a belief system, right? So
Yep.
so so basically, it's like you keep on believing in somebody else but yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So my thing is, I'm like, oh, let's start believing in ourselves again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's bad.
Like bro, like yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad. So just as to me, like just as somebody make a song, I'm glad you exist. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, yo, bro, nah, bro, this dude, keeps us safe.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, bro, the stars are everywhere, right? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It just, it's what y'all pay attention to, right? You know what I mean? Like, bro,
Yeah.
I mean, which one would you like? Like, like a good, I don't know, good record, you know what I'm saying, or safety. You know what I mean? Like, just
Yeah.
because if you fall, right, you know what I mean? Like, if you fall off a cliff, right, a rapper can't save you. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's true.
you know what I mean? It's like it's just what it is. It's like
Yeah. That's facts.
I mean, I'm just it's just man. One time, man, I'm working in the hospital. This guy, this guy, he always tried to nitpick, right? And he was like, man, so if you was on your if you was on your dying bed, right? You know what I'm saying? And basically and it was somebody that you wanted to come visit you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who would you want to, who would you want to come visit you, right? So I'm like, I'm dying, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, saying from illness. He's like, yeah. So I'm like, man, the doctor. That's who I want to visit me. The person that gets me
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I don't want a singer. I don't want a dancer. I don't want a baseball player. The doctor.
The doctor.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
person. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's facts though.
Yeah, it's like, nah, yo, don't, like, yo, don't, like, I'm not stupid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, what he gonna come with a baseball? Nah, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Bring the good doctor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The one that knows some stuff like that. That right there, that guy right there, that's the hero. You know what I mean?
That's the hero. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the hero. You're right. That's facts.
Yeah, bro. So man, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna keep you long, man. But thanks for talking to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'll definitely keep in contact with you. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, man. Definitely keep in contact, man.
And he said, that summer, let's say Johnny came back, and he said, Mr. Welsh, I got a job because of this card. And he said, well, what happened? He said, well, I went to the Port of Houston, and they had a job fair. He said, there's probably 300 or 400 people there. The foreman came out. It was in the dockyard, and he came out on the side of the trailer, and he said, who here has an OSHA card? So I raised my hand, and he said about 4 other people out of that large group said they had it. The foreman got us into the trailer. We gave him a copy of the card, and basically said, okay, can you start tomorrow? That was the interview. The other 300 or 400 people, they may not even have that opportunity. So is it worth it? Oh yes, it's worth it. It is, and especially if you can get it in school.
Projects are in the works, and with that, the demand is ongoing for well-trained workers. It is a requirement. And here to tell us about what OSHA training is locally is Roberto Gomez Rubio, a trainer from RGR Training Center. Good morning and welcome.
Hey, good morning, my man. How are you today?
Doing well. Thank you for coming in this morning, because we were just talking off camera. You have to be licensed from OSHA with this.
Correct.
You have to go through this really requirement. What exactly is OSHA first?
Occupational Safety Health Administration. So what we did, or what they developed, is for us to teach. I'm an OSHA authorized provider. So what we do, we teach OSHA 10s are for just general labor. OSHA 30s is just for supervisors. So if you want to take a class, it's a 2-day class, 5 hours a day, gets you as a general labor. It is required prior to going in a construction site. If you're a supervisor, it's a 4-day class, 7.5 hours per day. And that allows you to become a supervisor. Of course, you take the OSHA 10 or the OSHA 30, depending on what you want to apply. So this is simple. I'm with the RGR Training Center. You walk in our business prior from a class. We have one coming up on January 8 and 9. So when you guys come in, you register, and then you show up to the class. We provide all the material, all the paperwork you need. Once you complete the class, you guys get a temporary certificate. Allow us to obtain your original cards up to 60 days. Then we can either mail it to you, or you can come pick it up at our office after 60 days and you get your original card.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
I know we have a picture of it that we can show as well.
Oh, there
That's
you
kinda
go,
what you
guys.
get?
That's the new improved cards. And in the bag, you also have a scanner. You can go to my website and check it out. You guys can actually see it. So it's pretty much simple. You come in, register, you take the class, you get a certificate, you come back, we'll mail you the card, and you're ready to go to work. And as you can tell, we have so much work going on, convention centers, we have stadiums. I mean, the work is endless, guys.
It's a good time to be in Las Vegas with everything
Yes.
that's coming here.
It's about time for economy to grow more and build more stuff. And not only that, give people a job opportunity. Like
Very
we're
true.
speaking about 2008, the downfall. Now it's the opportunity to grow again, grow our Vegas industry, make sure construction goes well. We provide the classes everybody needs. We also do CPR. I mean, we provide so much different things that, it'll be helpful for everybody to have to work in the construction industry.
Take us through one of those classes. So if I'm coming to one of those classes and just sitting down, what should I expect really from the get-go?
Well, when you just come in, we'll sit you down. We'll introduce ourselves. I show you guys my authorized provider's card, and I'll show you guys.
Yeah.
The first thing you guys do, or you come to us, I always have to show you guys my card that we're actually authorized providers.
Oh,
That's the
perfect.
first thing we do. That way you guys know you're actually getting taught by a authorized
I might take
provider,
that just to get a
so
better
people
shot.
can actually see it. And then that gives you guys an opportunity to know that who we are and that we're licensed.
Should I cover any numbers?
No, you're
That's what it
good.
looks like.
And every card comes with a numeric number. When you get the OSHA 10, it has a numeric number, or an OSHA 30. But this is one of the first steps. I'll open introduction. After that, we go into the basics, like the basic 2 hours introduction to OSHA. Then we go over the focus 4 hazards, and then we have to go through more stuff throughout the next day. So, I mean, it's a pretty much simple process.
And it's required. You have to have this
Yeah,
card.
it's by law. It required. No one can go on a construction site, guys, without any OSHA cards. It is required by law. Prior to entering in a job site, you need to have an OSHA 10 as a laborer. If you're in a supervisor, you are required to have an OSHA 30. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. And then, your companies will, need more additional trainings, maybe CPR or other type of trainings, or some machinery, depending. But the main concern is you are required an OSHA 10 or supervisory OSHA 30.
With
So
the
it's simple.
classes, is it both English and Spanish?
Correct. I'm one of the few trainers that not only I teach English, hablo español. I also talk Spanish.
That's
so
good.
yeah.
That's good, because you have so many diverse people here in
Yeah.
Las Vegas to be able
Community.
the ability to be able to teach everybody.
Correct.
And like we mentioned beforehand, just giving them the opportunity to work inside our valley because it's growing.
Yep. And plus, when you train someone, you have to train them in a language they can understand. It makes no sense training you something you don't understand. So
Very
we have
true.
to make sure we train in any language. And if you guys go to the website, we'll show you guys what other languages we have available or handouts. And then that's pretty much. You just come in, register, come to the class, get your temporary, come back, pick up your original one, and you're set to go.
And really quick, can we still register for those classes upcoming?
Yep, if you go
Perfect.
to rgrtrainingcenter.com, or you guys pretty much put them on the screen.
Right
Just
there.
show up. Yeah, I got a screen. Just show up, guys. Pre-register, call us. My phone is on me 24/7.
Perfect.
You know, so that's pretty much it.
Well, we appreciate you coming in and sharing these details with us.
Thank you. Have a blessed day, man. Thank
You too. The RGR Training Center is located on East Sahara, right at Eastern. For more information, their website is rgrtrainingcenter.com, or call the number right there on your screen. They're a proud sponsor of the Morning Blend, and like we mentioned, classes begin in just a few weeks.